Now, following the census results in Northern Ireland, the debate over a possible border poll has again resurfaced. It's not something the unionist community would particularly relish, but Lorraine Hall, a Fine Gael councillor from Dun Laoghaire, says that that's because we haven't outlined the benefits for unionists a united Ireland might have. She's outlined this argument in today's Irish Independent. Good afternoon, Lorraine.
Good afternoon, Sean.
Now, I should also say as well, this is, apart from being in today's Indo, this is part of your submission to the Seanad on the constitutional future of Ireland.
Exactly. Yeah. The Seanad, they ran a public consultation in recent weeks on the constitutional future of Ireland, and my article that was published in the Irish Independent today is the first part of my submission.
Right. Okay.
They've invited views from members of the public on it, and I suppose as an Ulster Protestant, this was my attempt to offer a view on the matter.
Right. So, okay, well, let's do it this way. Let's pretend I'm a unionist. I've just got me black suit and me bowler hat black from the dry cleaners. Prince Charles is my king. I identify in no way, shape or form with the Republic of Ireland. Why should I take my treasured Northern Ireland and put it in with the South?
Yeah, well, look, there are rational reasons, I believe, why a united Ireland is beneficial for people of all faiths and traditions, and there's also emotional reasons. And in my article today, I look at some of the more rational reasons, you could say. Economically, I think the Republic has performed better than the North, and people are financially better off in the Republic. Back in the early 1900s, the 6 counties of Northern Ireland accounted for 80% of the industrial output in Ireland, whereas now, the complete opposite is the case. The South produces almost 30 times the amount of exports as the North today. Disposable incomes in the South are 12% higher than in the North. Per capita income in the South is higher than the North, and generally speaking, Irish society is more equal. There's less poverty in the Republic than there is in the North. Now, that's just some of the economic facts around the matter. And of course, the Troubles would have had a huge impact on Northern Ireland and would have completely undermined its economy. But from an economic perspective, right now, people are financially better off in the South. It doesn't just end with the economics. Like when it comes to education, young people in Northern Ireland are 2 to 3 times more likely to leave school early, which would tend to lead to more precarious employment opportunities and less stability. There's just 60 places in Northern Ireland universities for every 100 university applicants. And what that means is that over 17,000 university students a year leave Northern Ireland to study in British universities. And the effect of that is that 2/3 of them stay away, which I think is awful, that Northern Irish students are being lost to Britain and elsewhere. When it comes to healthcare, and healthcare would often be cited as a reason for Northern Irish people, both Catholic and Protestant, to stay within the UK because they cherish the NHS so much, primarily because of the free GP care in the North. But the facts don't entirely support the view that the NHS is better than the HSE. In the Republic, life expectancy is higher than in the North. Infant mortality is lower. Waiting lists for day patient services and inpatient services are much longer in the North, and indeed a very comprehensive health study, a Lancet study in 2018, showed that the Irish healthcare system ranked 11th for quality and access versus 23rd place for the UK. So I think we need to really scrutinise the health services very closely before we say one service is better than another. But the point I'm making is that if we want to appeal to the broader unionist community, it's necessary really to set out why the unionist community would be better off socially, economically, educationally, healthcare, and so on.
Yeah. All of that isn't all of that predicated on the idea that in the Republic we have spare capacity. Well, from what you're saying, university places then in a unified Ireland would be overwhelmed because of Northern Irish. There'd be a greater amount of poorer people within a united Ireland. There'll be a greater strain on an already overwhelmed health system within a united Ireland. Mm-hmm. What's in it for us?
Well, I suppose I said, well, there is that perspective, and it is a question that, people in the Republic have to ask themselves as well. Do they indeed want a united Ireland? Because there are big challenges to come with that, and as you said, the cost of, subsuming Northern Ireland into Ireland and the draw on all the resources, be it educational or pensions or, the welfare costs and, having the resources. And I mean, I guess if Northern Ireland were to be, reunited with the Republic, I mean, you would be subsuming their universities into the Irish system. You would be subsuming all of the healthcare facilities into the Irish system. So it's not just a big draw and a big cost. There's obviously the Republic would be absorbing all of those.
But for Northern Ireland to catch up would be a cost on the country as a whole. Whereas many people would think that our education system is under a strain, or certainly the HSE is under a strain. So it's because and also as well, Lorraine, there's the emotion part of it. People or cultural part of it. For people who identify as British, why would they possibly want to link up with a country that they regard as foreign? They might as well just become part of Germany.
Well, I think that's where we really get to the crux of the argument, and my article today in the Indo more so sets out the rational factual reasons as to why people would be better off. But it's not just about rational arguments. This is also about winning hearts as well as minds. And I suppose many Protestants in Northern Ireland are religious, and their faith is very important to them. It's very important that they are able to express their faith without any fear, and whether that's commemorating Remembrance Sunday and those lives lost during the World War, or not having to worry about their orange halls being burnt down and so on. It's not just an economic and fact-based argument.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
We need to give space to and listen to Ulster Protestants to see what they have to say and how they feel about the prospect of United Ireland.
Lorraine, thank you very much for speaking with us today. That's Lorraine Hall there, a Fine Gael Councillor representing Dun Laoghaire.